Hey guys, welcome to Anatomy of a Movie News. I'm your host, Chloe West.
And this is Sarah Stretton.
And I'm Marisa Serafini.
And now in the news for this week, July 30th, Marisa, what happened to the Expendables?
Oh my goodness. All right. Expendables 3. There has been a DVD quality version got leaked on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah, not something that I'm sure the company's very excited about since it hasn't been released in theaters yet.
It's been released 3 weeks early, so on the internet. In over 24 hours, it has been downloaded to 189,000 times, just in a 24-hour period. And as of Sunday, July 27th, that number has increased to 1.13 million downloads.
Wow, that's going to hurt the box office for that.
So much. And I mean, Expendables 3 has such a huge cast of actors with really big names, and I'm sure they were looking to just bring in kind of like buckets on this film. But if people are getting it for free already, oh, it's not going to do well.
And a DVD quality, that is bad. Wow. Well, we'll keep you guys updated on what happens in the box office once it does eventually get released into theaters, but that's definitely going to hurt it. And speaking of theater releases, Guardians of the Galaxy, so Comic-Con was this past week. Huge news all over. Sarah's going to get more into that later, but Guardians of the Galaxy gets an August record rollout, and it's okay to play in China, which box office wise just means that it is going to make so much money. The analysts already say it's going to make a ton, but now with this rollout, so basically Guardians of the Galaxy will roll out in over 4,000 theaters on Friday, as well as in China. And it will have screenings starting at 7 p.m. on the Thursday before. So not even midnight screening, 7 p.m. the Thursday before, which is crazy.
It's such a weird new trend. Like, what the point of the release date is to come out at midnight. Everyone wants things so automatically, which is why things like the Expendables leak is happening.
Yeah.
You want things immediately. Calm down.
I know, right?
You can wait a day for its actual release date.
Well, so people are wondering, if it's getting such a big release, how much is it going to make in box office? Well, to compare it to the widest release ever, not just August, but ever, was Twilight, which debuted in 4,400 theaters. So it's only 400 theaters under the Twilight Saga Eclipse release. So it's predicted to make about 65 million, but the highest August opening ever is 69 million. And with the Bourne Ultimatum, and I think it's going to pass that.
All right.
There's no set release date for China yet, but it did get the okay from the film officials, which is just going to be huge. Captain America was the last Marvel movie to be released there, and it grossed 115 million in China in May.
Wow.
I think we're going to break a record. I'm on your side. I think that's happening. We'll have to keep track of it within the next week, but I definitely think it's going to make a big splash. Also, some things for you guys to tune in. Trailers released at Comic-Con. So obviously there was a bunch going on in San Diego this week. There was crazy cosplay costumes that you guys should check out. New releases of video games and comics, and the whole world was in a Comic-Con uproar. But let's talk about the movie aspects, what they were releasing. So we've got a bunch of new trailers for you. The ones that I'm going to mention are some of my favorites. We have a new Mad Max Fury Road trailers coming out. This film has not been done in like 30 years since the last installment. It's back. It has Charlize Theron, Tom Hardy.
Hotties.
It looks intense. There's like deserts and fighting and crazy makeup and costumes. Total fit for a Comic-Con trailer showing. So that's exciting. Then we have The Hobbit, Battle of Five Armies. We're doing the third installment of the Hobbit movies. Those are coming back. The trailer features kind of like a flashback to a song from the original trilogy. So I thought that was a good tie-in. Hunger Games, of course, with a special focus on Philip Seymour Hoffman in the trailer. Also, we have two kind of more devilish trailers coming out. One, Horns, which has Daniel Radcliffe. It's an adaptation of Joe Hill's fantasy novel. And horns is not a figurative manner of speaking. He has literal horns.
Awesome.
So check that out. Also in kind of more of the horror genre, Kevin Smith's film Tusk. Got Tusk and you got horns. And I'm really excited for Tusk. I'm not a big horror person, and it looks suspenseful. It looks smart. I was kind of getting like Silence of the Lambs vibes, where it's scary, but you know there's a lot going on. You know there's layers to the film. And finally, Sin City 2 for another spectacle, A Dame to Kill For, featuring one of my favorites, Eva Green, also bringing back Jessica Alba, Rosario Dawson, and I believe even Lady Gaga was in the trailer.
All right. That's a lot, and we'll have to all go check those out, and of course we'll be doing dissections for most of them once they eventually come out. Some of them don't have release dates for a while. Speaking of trailers, though, and one that doesn't have a release date for a while, the 50 Shades of Grey trailer was released, and it reached 7 million views in its first 24 hours, which is pretty shocking. I mean, that's pretty big.
That's insane.
That's
crazy.
So many people.
And if you guys haven't seen the trailer yet, go check it out. Personally, I thought it played like a horror movie trailer, but it's, it's not a horror movie. It's this very erotic film based off of the books. But what did you guys think of it?
I could totally see how you were getting kind of the horror vibe from it, because it does have a spooky element. What I find funny about this is when the book came out, it was obviously it was a bestseller, but then there was a bunch of people knocking it, giving it the quote-unquote title of like mommy porn. And this movie is not going that direction. It does have this, kind of dark, twisted, but it doesn't seem like, it's not just like a mother's like rom-com. It's darker, but I'm excited for it.
I think it's going to be great because anyone who has read the book knows what to anticipate, and I feel it gives a lot of teases of what we're expecting to see, like the Red Room, which is a very iconic room in the story. So, and it literally, the trailer builds to a climax. Speaking of which. So, I mean, I'm excited, and it's not just for like the older women, but like the younger generation, the teenagers are,
That's why I feel they're really targeting. I feel like it's much more the young adult.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Beyonce does cover the new crazy. She does have a new Crazy in Love, which is attached. So of course that brings a lot of attention to it, and they're wondering how well it will do in box office. I mean, the book had a huge fan following, but going off of like trailers and things, The Avengers was downloaded 10 million times in its first 24 hours, and the movie wound up being the third highest grossing film of all time. So 7 million in the first 24 hours. I mean, it's right up there. It's got a lot of buzz. The film does not get released until Valentine's Day of 2015. So we'll have to wait, all those
a long time.
Yeah, a long time, but it's already very buzzworthy.
Absolutely.
Perfect. We also have some more news about the Jungle Book. Am I right?
That's right. So Jungle Book news, we have Christopher Walken is going to be joining the cast, which is awesome.
Yeah, and also they just casted Giancarlo Esposito, who's known for Revolution and Once Upon a Time. So those two are going to be joining an amazing cast with Ben Kingsley, Lupita Nyong'o, Idris Elba, Scarlett Johansson, and of course directed by Jon Favreau. So it's going to be an amazing film. I'm really looking forward to it.
The names that they're attaching to Jungle Book is awesome. I mean, Ben Kingsley's up with my favorite actors of all time. Yeah. So I'm seeing it, and it's, Disney inspired. I'm in. Also, it's kind of in the animal kingdom. Let's talk about one of my favorites, King Kong. King Kong's such a classic. It is now been entrusted to Legendary, who has now King Kong and Godzilla. It's getting an origin story called Skull Island, and it's supposed to come to theaters November 4th, 2016. So King Kong is back, guys. Gonna compete with Godzilla. Gonna be, after we see Jurassic World, we're just getting all of these big, scary
monsters.
Animals back in the spotlight.
Awesome. Well, in specialty box office news, Philip Seymour Hoffman's A Most Wanted Man took the specialty box office this week. Woody Allen's Magic in the Moonlight also came out, and Boyhood is still doing so well. We'll be dissecting Boyhood this week. For those of you who want to check that out, maybe go see Boyhood this week. But A Most Wanted Man sort of took it over, but Boyhood is expanding now out of the specialty box office because it is getting such rave reviews. It's such a fantastic film, and check out the dissection, guys, coming on Friday. And in bigger box office news, So Lucy won the box office, and we'll also be discussing that this week. Lucy took it, then Hercules, then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is still up there, and it still has 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is awesome. You guys, we covered that a few weeks ago. Go check it out on anatomyofamovie.com, the dissection of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This week coming out, we have Guardians of the Galaxy with 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wow. We'll be dissecting that next week. So go see it this week. Get On Up, which is the James Brown film, which I am so excited to see. I've heard great things. And then some other ones like Calvary, Child of God, and Behaving Badly, starring Selena Gomez. So a ton of different things opening in the box office this week. And so we will, if there's something we're not going to dissect and you guys really want to check it out, please let us know. Maybe we'll do Behaving Badly. What do you think, Sarah?
I'm in such a music mood that I'm really looking for Get On Up and Guardians of the Galaxy, because I heard they're both movies you can jam to. So that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm excited for Get On Up because James Brown, iconic singer, and I would love to just know his backstory and his story in general. So
absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that is this week in movie news. Please check out anatomyofamovie.com for all of our dissections.